Mm, dang. No, he's just broken. I don't even know how else to describe it. He's just broken. He probably won't even be able to fight anymore. Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist to the Abyss, and you are watching my review for Hunter x Hunter episode 106. Now, this one starts off with Knov. It focuses on him, which a lot of the episode was focused on him, as you can tell from my reaction to not the end of the episode, but close to the end. But he's approaching the palace and he sees these 10 trees. And each of these 10 trees has around 500 of these really big fruits. And as we can tell from the silhouettes, these fruits hold people inside of them. Specifically, they're the people that were selected to become these non-human weapons during the first day of the selection, which was before Kahlua started screwing around with their plans and everything. But no, he gets closer and closer to the palace, and he manages to create two of the portals. Then he goes inside the palace, and he's trying to be careful because he never knows when a Chimera ant will show up. And one does show up. It's just a random fodder soldier ant, and he takes it out pretty quickly. He just takes it out and takes its head off, and then sends its body into a portal. He leaves his shoes behind though, because he had stepped in blood, and he just left his bloody shoes behind. I don't really know how good of an idea that was. He should have sent his shoes into a portal as well. Now, that's evidence that someone was there. So now that someone's going to come across that and realize, hey, someone's missing. These shoes were left behind. Someone was in here and they did something. What did they do? Well, let's bump up security in case they're planning something. Or, if they're still here, let's find them. Something, And if they bump up security, then their plan isn't going to work. Going through the portals, which is going to be not necessarily ambushed, because it's not like they know exactly where they're going to be showing up. But it's going to be much harder for their plan to succeed with all this, with extra security. So leaving his shoes behind is not exactly a good plan. But he ends up continuing on anyway, and he reaches the stairwell, and he's going to go up the stairwell and put the portal up there. Then he stops, and then he runs to the side of the side of the stairwell, and he's just shaking. He's just stricken with fear. He sees this. I don't know if he can actually see the aura. I don't know if aura is something you can see without using Gil. I don't think it is. But like the way it's shown to us, it's like this dark smoke type of aura just coming down the stairwell. And I'm assuming that's Shao since you know P2's kind of busy right now healing Miram, but still P P2's end is much scarier. But even though Shao is less scary, it was still enough to just destroy Knov mentally. He at that point he was done. He knew he was not getting any closer. Right? He was just afraid of all the things that would happen if they captured him. So he puts the portal there and he leaves. He gets out of Dodge. He was gone. But after this, we end up switching to Leol, and he confronts Morel. And Morel, he decides to give Knov as much time as possible. So he decides to divert Leol's attention, and he doesn't run away. I mean, he technically runs away, but he doesn't run away. Leol thinks he's just trying to run away, when in reality he's just trying to draw Leol farther and farther away from the palace and just waste his time pretty much. Um, but after this, we end up going back to Knov, and he's no longer inside the part of the palace he was in before. He's on his way out, and he sees that Marcos guy, whatever, that informant guy that they have, the one that's working with them, and he's dropping off these refrigerated trucks, and I think like three of them had food, while the other one has women in it, and apparently he knows all about BZF and Palm's plan. I thought that Palm was doing this on her own, but apparently she's not. This is something that I'm assuming they all came up with, something she proposed. It's something that at least Knov knows about. So it's part of the plan. But she and the rest of those girls end up being taken to Area D. Not the Area D with Altereds from Weekly Shonen Sunday, not that one. This is a different Area D. It's an area where, never mind, I was going to make a joke, never mind, it was going to be really bad. But he drops them off there, and he says that they can pretty much do whatever they want there, as long as they don't try to escape, and as long as they drop whatever it is that they're doing whenever he calls for them. And some of these girls, or two of them at least, were actually happy about it. They were happy that BZF was interested in them. So, all right, I guess. So the one girl that he picked at first, she didn't really look too happy, but maybe she's just that type of character that doesn't show any emotion or anything. But yeah, Palm starts thinking about ways to escape from that place because the entire plan rests on her seeing with her own eyes Miriam and the Royal Guard, because we learn that her crystal ball, her Nen ability, allows her to just keep tabs on whoever she's actually seen before. So as long as she's seen someone before, she will be able to use her crystal ball to follow them around and just see whatever it is they're doing. So that will be incredibly helpful in as far as strategy goes. Just knowing what Miriam and the Royal Guard are doing, what they're up to. So that's what her goal is in getting into the palace. But she ends up getting she gets this, I guess, iced tea or something, I don't know. She gets tea or some type of beverage with ice, and she takes it to the building / room that BZF and that one woman were in. And he tells her that, I guess he was finished with her. He tells her that he's wearing a robe, by the way. It's not exactly a secret what he was doing, but he tells her that she can leave, and he lets Palm come in. And she's probably gonna, her plan is to try and manipulate him in some way so that she can leave. And if she's just walking around by herself and she runs into a Chimera ant, she's dead. So she's probably going to have BZF walk with her and have, like, that way she's protected by his presence, I guess. His presence alone would keep people from attacking him. He'd be like, oh, who's this woman? I haven't seen her before. And he'll be like, oh, she's one of the people I brought in the blah, blah, blah. Who cares what his excuse is? What her excuse for him is, I should say. But that's pretty much what she's planning right now. At the end of the episode, we see Leol. Him and Morel are in some underground church, I think it was. And Leol, he thinks he's got Morel trapped. Morel thinks that he's got Leol trapped. They're both pretty similar to each other, they find out. They both like the same kind of music. And Leol, he just puts in his headphones and just starts listening to music. And the episode ends with him renting an ability. We don't know what ability that is, but he rents a new ability. But the best part of the episode is by far the part right before that with Knov. He finally makes it all the way out of the palace. He's outside. He just sits in the rain. He's just completely broken. Like I said in my reaction, he's just broken. And he's just amazed at how Gon and Kahlua could be that close to P2's aura and still have the will to fight, because his will is completely broken. He's done. He's done. I honestly do not think he will be of any use anymore in this fight. The portals and that's it. He's not going to fight anyone. He's not going to fight Shower Puth. He's not going to fight Matsuta Yubi. He's not going to fight Pito. He's certainly not going to fight Miriam. Okay, because he's done. He's just been mentally broken down. That's it for him. He's done. I honestly do not think he will be very relevant anymore. Or not to the. He's going to be relevant, of course. I mean that he's not going to be like fighting. As far as combat goes, he's not going to be relevant because he won't be able to bring himself to do it. He's just too afraid. Which goes to show you just how strong Gon and Kahlua are mentally. one of the things he focused on saying is how he's impressed that Golden Kahlua could be so close to Pito's aura. So, you know, it makes them look incredible. Well, then again, Kahlua was legitimately afraid, and he got out of dodge. But Kahlua's an assassin. He's a Zoldyck, so being able to overcome that isn't too surprising. But then again, Knov isn't exactly a nobody either. He's a strong, trained hunter who is, I would assume, a protege of Netero. So, you know, he's not a, he's pretty good himself. He's pretty strong. So, just saying Kahlua is a Zoldyck isn't really enough. But Golem, he's kind of stupid and naive, so you would think even he would be afraid, but he wasn't. He let his emotions, his anger overcame his fear, I guess. But even so, it's still, you can't really come up with an excuse for why they would be so much stronger mentally than Knov. It's just they just are. You know, that's just the kind of people they are. So it's not like you could just say, oh well, they're the only reason they weren't afraid, the only reason they didn't break down was because of this. They really are just that strong. So, you know, that really does make the two of them look good, especially since they're like what, 12 or so. You know, so I thought that was the best part of the episode. I thought that was really good. But a lot of the other parts of this episode are mostly just setup. So I'll give this episode a 7 out of 10. I thought it was cool, but that's it. I can't really give it a good just because of one scene that was good, or one part. The parts that focused on Knov were good, but the others were set up. So yeah, it's a cool episode. I mean, it gets a 7 out of 10. But that's really it for now. I had already started doing my Tokyo Ravens review, but my laptop restarted in the middle of it, and I'm going to have to do it all over again. That's annoying. So I just figured I'd do Hunter x Hunter first because I was kind of annoyed, and I didn't want to touch Tokyo Ravens until I had calmed down. So eventually that Tokyo Ravens review will be up. I have a couple things I have to get taken care of first, but it'll be up soon. But that's it for now, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.